You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 24th, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Historic Preservation Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. And I want to apologize. I did not get the packet. It usually is there when I come home on Monday, and it wasn't there. So I do not have the packet. I do have the minutes.
With the agenda?
Yes. I tried to talk Dan into taking over, and he refused. So, has everyone had a chance?
Oh, I've got a spare.
She's got a spare.
Oh,
Look
darn.
at that.
Oh, darn. Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes?
I'll do the roll call first.
Okay, we'll let you.
Joyce Dalton,
Present.
Dan Granquist,
Yes.
Dwayne Hurt,
Here.
Lawrence Zimmer, here. Amy Bowman,
Here.
Jonas Zimmerman, absent. Greg Coulter, absent. Pat Matsey,
Here.
Anthony Hicks,
Here.
Deb Parcell,
Here.
Kyle Anthony Petter, here. Thank you.
Okay, now, if everyone's read the minutes, may I have approval?
Motion to approve.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Okay, and what about the agenda? Can I have a motion for that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All right. So we'll start. Any correspondence?
No.
Okay. And Kyle is grateful for that. It's been a busy couple weeks, I know, for you guys. And being hot doesn't help. Okay, we'll start with our C of A's.
Hang on a second here.
That's all right.
Where is the mouse? There.
There it is. You can almost see that.
Almost. This is like an eye test that's not going real well.
Pretty
Oh,
little.
wow. I'm so nearsighted. Is that today's date on that one? Maybe.
Chris could probably tell you.
Oh, it's right behind me, doggone.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Same.
So,
Yeah.
those are all last year. Okay, we're in the wrong. Can we move? Do I have to be aimed at that? Where is the laptop?
Maybe
It's up
that's what our
there.
date.
Why does it not want to go backwards?
Try the top of the date column. That works. You.
I think I need to be in a different folder, but maybe not. It's like it's not going anywhere. There we go. Okay, so. See my photos. There we go.
Yeah.
Look in the wrong folder. Okay. Alrighty, so we are ready now. Just gonna- So the first one is COA 2024-026. This is a COA that we looked at last month. Didn't have enough information to make a decision on it, so we're revisiting this, and the owners are here now, so they can talk to us more about it. Just to refresh your memory, this is in Elston Grove, contributing building built around 1880. The proposed project was building an overhead roof to help shade for the summer when they're outside. The finding of fact, the covered area is at the rear of the building, but is visible from the street as the house is on a corner. The roofing material appears to be exposed fastener metal, which is not approved for the historic district. And at the time, last month, when we took the pictures, it appeared unfinished. We didn't know the details and had recommended denial because we didn't have information. So that's the structure. It's, as you look at it, it would be to the far left, the roof that sticks out there. And then we've got a picture there of it, so you can see it a little better.
So we're looking at the shed roof.
We're looking at the shed roof, yeah. Okay, so we can zoom in a little bit here if we've got a slideshow. There, it's up a little closer so you can see it's the roof and it's those posts, and so I think the owners need to tell you more or answer questions about it.
Okay, do you have anything you want to tell us before we start?
Yes, so we had sent an email to, I think, sorry, kind of explaining how we set everything up as far as what our dimensions, how we poured, what post, the lengths. I sent him an email last week.
Who did you send the email to?
His name is Mr. Kyle Anthony Better.
Okay, yeah, that would be me. I haven't looked at that email yet, if I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I didn't quite get there.
I haven't seen it. Okay.
So is this before us now because, why? Because it's already built. So what happened?
I don't know, is it finished or is there more to go on this?
I said last week, yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's finished.
For the most part, it's finished. Okay, yeah, I didn't know if it was.
So they did it without a building permit then, I assume?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So does it need to be inspected again?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a question for the building department.
Okay.
I mean, not for us in terms of inspections.
So they would have to approach the building department?
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's been a while since this whole process began. I don't remember if a permit was ever pulled or what kind of was, what steps.
Do you know if you got a building permit?
No, we guess we weren't really too sure how, I guess, to do that process.
Okay.
So we tried reaching out to Mr. Kyle and then kind of go from there, try to answer questions. I don't know, I can send you guys the email kind of describing how we did everything, and we took also other pictures to kind of see how we assembled everything.
So is that what we're trying to do, is get into the process of permitting it so that it's,
Yes.
okay,
Yes, they can't get a permit without approval.
approval, right?
But it's unfortunate, I can't zoom in too much on that, but it just doesn't look extremely
I
complete.
was just gonna say, is it,
It's the big one coming over the top of it,
right,
right?
Right.
that bench, is that a part of the structure itself, or is that just what you had set up while you were working?
So we have the one that's with the roof with the shingles, that one goes down to our basement. And so the one that we added is,
Sir, why don't you come up here and point so that we can all see what
Yeah.
you want that to.
okay, so yeah, this was all existing, the stuff that we added was this. So it's got 6 posts, 2, 2, and 2, with, for, like, I guess for the right term, I guess like headers and maybe footers in the back. And then we have crossbars that are connected to make it a solid structure.
So I'm sorry, so my question, so is that little bench area right there a part, is that, that right there, is that
Yeah.
gonna stay there, or was that just put there while you were working?
So this would be part of it as well, because our idea was for in time in the summer or also in the winter. So we have a couple, like we have a smoker, a grill. This would mostly be just used for our cooking. just some shade. Especially in the winter too, we like to do a lot of like smoke grilling. So I've had problems where I've had it like anywhere up here, but with the wind comes in and it knocks the flame down, so it takes it so long. So the idea was to just add this little area for shade and just to help cook. And then right here we kind of have like a, more like a table just to like put our stuff for winter. And the email that I sent, I also have more pictures. I don't know if you guys need, or if I can send it anywhere to where you guys can.
Yeah.
Do you want her to send it?
Yeah, you could do that and send it to my email, which is,
If you want to come up here, she'll tell you her email.
there it is, dparcel@indianalandmarks.org.
Yes.
Trusty laptop.
So my question would be, if we did give a certificate of appropriateness, they would still have to go through and have it inspected?
Well, yeah, and they would then fill out the building permit and,
Then,
yes, then they-
and then that would make it illegal.
Mhm.
I got you.
So it's kind of a retroactive.
Right, we're kind of going
Yeah, we
backwards, but.
did it
Yeah.
backwards.
Mhm.
So you understand our conundrum here is that, you know, you built something that's not historically compatible with the building, with the house.
Yeah,
You know, so,
yeah.
so you have some ideas now for how you're going to fix it up and make it look more historically accurate?
Yes, when I read over it said that the metal roof panels that we used were like approved by the historic. So I know we would have to change that out to, I'm assuming just the regular shingles to match the house.
That would be a good choice, yeah. If you do metal, it needs to be a concealed fastener. In as small areas that is, I think you just be as wise, cost efficiency and everything, to just put shingles like the house. But we normally also expect to see soffit and fascia, that wood that's exposed there, you know, either covered with aluminum or painted, preferably painted. So it's not just raw wood out there. So we would expect to see that. And I don't know what else going down at the bottom is. Does it have like a concrete base to it?
Yes,
Or
so down here we did, so I believe I sent you the email.
could be. Let me make sure I'm connected to the internet. I am not. Just a minute. There we go. Soon, hopefully. Sometimes it takes a bit. I mean, usually we look at porch, it's basically a porch. We look at columns to have usually a little bit of design to them. I don't know, it's in the back, it's pretty utilitarian, I don't know.
I don't either. Honestly, something like that should, you know, a professional should look at it and design it and make
Yeah.
it look.
It
like
would
it's
be
compatible with the
ideal.
house.
Yeah,
It's not like something you can just make up, you know? But I don't even know who to refer these kinds of issues to, you know? Like Rutgers not around anymore.
It'd have to be to the building department.
Well, but they're not designers, so.
No, but they would know who would be.
Well, they could, I mean, he could probably go to Menards and talk to somebody in their design department. I mean, I have friends that have built straight up from the ground homes and turned them into Airbnbs. It's crazy, but you can go and you can talk to them and show them what you want to do, and they'll do it, and I'm pretty sure they do it for free,
Yeah, they do.
or it's very
Okay.
minimal, if anything.
But yeah, that's something that we definitely would be willing to do. If we could approve her. Any recommendations that you guys have or anything?
Well, I would, if they don't come out to the house, then you'd need to take photographs and give them accurate dimensions of the existing parts of the house.
Yeah.
Like widths and depths and heights, and give them as much information as you can
Yeah.
so that they can do some kind of a computer-generated drawing for you and work out, and hopefully they could mimic some of the existing details on the house and, help you work out a design. Then you bring that back to us
Okay.
and we'll review it, or send it to Deb and we'll review it at the next meeting and then see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
All right?
Okay.
Did you,
Don't know what's up. I've refreshed it, I've closed out of it and come back. I'm not sure why it's not getting from you to me. One would think I could make it, but I have internet as far as I can tell. Shows I have a connection, yeah. So I'm not sure.
I can show you guys pictures of it. I know it's probably not the best way to see it, but
Of what?
I have the other pictures so you guys can see the other angles like more so.
Of what you're proposing? Or-
No, what's there?
What's there?
Well, I don't think we need to see any, we get the gist from what you've got there. Yeah.
So I would think then if you did go to the building department and ask, I think that's where you need to start. And then
Okay.
you can go to Menards and get whatever, but at least they know what you're going to do or you've done.
Okay.
Okay.
And then are there like guidelines? I know the roof, is there somewhere I can find that information?
Yes, if you go to the website, city website, and look for the Historic Preservation Commission, on there is a live link to the guidelines. You just click on it, and then you can look within there, and it'll show you guidelines for porches and materials and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All righty.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your coming. Thank you very
And
much.
never hesitate to reach out and ask questions as you're going through the process.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad to help. So I don't know why in the world it's slow tonight, but normally I get emails fine, and my phone number's on there, so always feel free to call me, the
Okay.
cell phone number. Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll
Okay.
need a motion to extend it till next meeting then?
Yes.
What was the motion last time? Were we giving him a 30-day?
I don't know if we have the exact motion on here. I thought it was just denied based on lack of information,
I'm thinking you're right, yeah.
but I.
But you can only give one 30-day extension anyway, that's all the ordinance allows us, so. But I think you're right, I think we denied
Yeah,
it for
we
lack
did.
of information,
Yeah,
so
that's what it says.
it isn't alive and moving at the moment, so you'll just have to fill out a new application and bring that back, so we can work on it in July then if we have a new application, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
And you're welcome to stay or you can leave, whatever you prefer.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay.
All right, so on to the next one.
Do we need to do anything with this COA that they filed?
It was denied last time, we just brought it back because they weren't here to talk about it, so I think, yeah,
Now that we have a little bit more information.
yeah. So now we know what to do. They'll just fill out a new one and we'll start fresh with that one. Okay, the next one is 2024-035 for 312 East 8th Street for a rooftop deck. As soon as I get to that one. Okay, this is the old library building. The proposed project is a rooftop deck on the 5th unit on back of the building. Let me move this, this is the front. You can sort of kind of see way to the back, but let me move it to the next picture. There, you can see better what's there. Deck is framed with standard treated lumber and has already passed framing inspection. It's wired for low voltage accent lights at each post cap as well as riser lights on one step. Finished deck material will be TimberTech composite 5.5-inch decking boards with hidden fastener system in the color weathered teak. The railing will be TimberTech white composite post sleeves with standard 42-inch rail system with square white spindles. So this project did come before you guys last year, January 23rd, 2023, with COA 2023-08. At that time, you approved this rooftop deck guardrail to the perimeter of the single-story low-slope roof at the rear. It was approved for a 42-inch guardrail in dark bronze or black, and that would have vertical members every 4 to 6 feet with 4-inch on-center half by half-inch vertical pickets in that railing, and a solid metal guardrail at the top to tie the members together. So they said the guardrail at that time would be attached to the roofing surface via through-flashed pedestals to allow for drainage and bolted connectors. They also got approval to remove the window at the second floor level in the east apartment adjacent to the low slope roof to provide a new access door to the deck. So this is coming back now asking for composite decking material and then the railing in white as opposed, white composite as opposed to the black metal that was originally approved. So the finding of fact, the railing material and color should minimize the impact of the railing. Dark bronze or black metal railing as previously approved rather than white would be minimally visible. The proposed rooftop guardrail will not be visible from the main facade of the building. So let me give you the next, there's what it looks like from the back. Staff recommendation is approval as the deck with condition of dark colored railing, with final approving of that railing and post color and the design by staff upon submission.
Is there anybody here representing 312? Okay.
The original deck that was designed was hard to see in the drawings. It looked like it would be invisible. I don't know about the connections, you know, that band board that's up there now seems to be sticking out away. I don't know. I don't know what will make this less visible.
Well, to me, it would be nice if the new railing up above would look like the railing
Right,
down below.
I agree.
Yes.
100% with that.
Which is what
Which was
the
what-
original would
Yeah, I don't like
have
the
looked
idea
like.
of the white composite. That's terrible.
It
doesn't
will
match
stand out tremendously.
in any way, shape, or form.
So we originally asked for it to be metal.
Yes, and that was what was approved in 2023, and then, yeah. This is what we have now, so.
So they're putting up those posts, but they haven't done anything else. So is there any reason why we still can't require them to put metal panels in?
There's no
I mean, the
reason.
metal spigots?
Right, what was approved in the past.
Yeah.
We couldn't just stay with what was already approved and
Yes, I agree.
deny the current request.
Yes.
Please.
This is, I think, you know, even though it's in the back, I mean, the whole building is beautifully detailed all the way around.
exactly.
I think we don't drop our standards just because it's in the back.
It would do a disservice to the building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's seen
Why would
from
be
the
a
side.
blacktop?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
really not
it is.
be appealing at all.
In 2023, they had Greg Keel design this, and he did an excellent job. He understood what we were looking for, and he came and presented it to the commission and explained how it was going to work, that it would be, drainage would be good, and yet the visual impact would be as minimal as possible. So it was unanimously approved in 2023. I think it was great. I'm not sure what prompted a change, but I
It
couldn't deny
seems
it.
like every time they bring something in front of us, it changes and we don't see
And they've done it without,
several buildings.
yeah.
That's too bad.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to deny this petition.
Second.
Second. No second?
I seconded.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I said it the same time
Okay.
you were saying.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same? Okay. You will get something to them then? Thank you. Okay.
All right, next we're looking at 117 East 9th Street. We've got several of them here, but this first one is for demolition of the shed, demolish and remove the existing tin shed structure at the back of the property. It is unsightly and would create parking space, which is scarce. The owner has no use for a shed. And then secondly, to demolish and remove the existing chimney on the building. We've got some pictures here. And patch the roof where the chimney had been. The chimney is no longer needed, it is unsightly and leaks water. So this is the south side of the shed, it's facing the alley. There's the west end of the shed, so it's just covered in metal. That's the interior. We took several pictures in there.
I don't see a chimney though.
No, the chimney's on a separate building, commercial. This is a shed at the back. The
Oh, okay.
chimney's on the,
So the petition's.
there's the chimney on the commercial building.
Is that part of the petition?
Yes.
Okay,
So like two separate parts,
Okay.
but same address.
got it.
So, finding of fact, the Sanborn maps indicate that the shed building was constructed 1920, somewhere between 22 and 29. It's not on the 1922 map, but it is on the 1929 map.
Or a building.
A building. Yes, I guess we can't say it was the same, but it's similar shape and size, so we're assuming, we don't know that. It does not appear to be a public safety hazard or beyond repair, which those are reasons that we normally approve demolition. If you look under the demolition guidelines, it's like failed or inadequate foundation, collapsed roof, wall members and supports that are split, lean, list, or buckle, structural members that sag, split, or buckle, yeah, that kind of thing. So that's normally why we approve that. So 2 horizontal parking spaces would be gained by the removal of the shed. The chimney does not appear to be beyond repair, as best you can tell from the ground looking up. So staff recommendation is a 30-day extension of this for the owner to obtain a written statement that the building is beyond repair, and the chimney to repair it, cap it, and retain it.
Is there anyone here representing that building? Okay. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. So my concern is that if we deny this, then there's gonna be this ugly shed just sitting there and nobody's, because they're not, if they don't know what to do with it, they're not gonna spend any money fixing it up. And it's a real eyesore right now. So, I don't know, I understand your purity of reasoning there, but does it really have any architectural charm
It's
worth
not
saving?
really my purity of reasoning, that's what the guidelines
Right.
say,
Well, that's what I
so,
mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess, I'm certainly, you guys make the decision, but it's also setting precedent sometimes
Well,
too.
and if
so.
we require them to have somebody come out, they're gonna say it's structural sound. It's
Yeah,
still
it's-
going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Matter of not being useful, but
Right.
not a matter of structural
Right.
issue, so.
So he's not gonna get his parking spaces, and then that ugly building is gonna still be there. And I'm not even sure what it is you can do with it. If he doesn't need the storage space, I don't even know what you could do with it. So,
Probably not much. Did you want to make a motion with it?
Put a plaque on the wall and say, come look at an old shed building, it's like a museum.
There you go.
It sounds like they want to really turn it into a storefront,
On the
because it
front,
was a
yes.
storefront,
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, the
you
next
know,
one's for the storefront, and that's gonna
right,
be really
exactly.
nice.
It's gonna
Yes.
look great.
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah, so I
So
guess
she's,
I'd rather let's let them put their effort toward the storefront and not hold them back because of the shed.
and
That's
if
my feeling.
I'm not mistaken, I think the owners are developers, so I
I
think,
think so.
yeah, they're gonna do something great with it.
So.
So anyway,
This
that's
is
all I
up
have to
you
say.
guys.
So, Larry, do you want to make a motion?
So we're gonna do this in two parts then, shed and chimney?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they're quite separate.
All right, so I make a motion that we grant the petition to demo the shed. But repair and retain the chimney, but we'll do that next.
Do I have a second?
Did you hear?
Yeah, I second
I
that.
know, I was just
Oh,
asking
I'm
Joyce
sorry.
if she heard you.
I guess I'm not paying attention tonight, I'm sorry. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same? Okay, thank you, Larry.
So then the next part would be that we ask them to repair and retain the chimney,
Yes.
even if it's just blocked off and has no function, right? Because that's what we
Yeah,
want to preserve.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Do I
Because
have
it is the only chimney on the building, so.
Do I have a second for that, Mr. Anthony?
I second, yes.
All, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay.
Okay, same building, 2024-043. This project is for the front of the commercial building. So first part is removing, whoops,
Nasty plans.
wrong one. Back to doing this. Okay, so there's the front. So removing the existing glass and the plywood and the framing. And then they're going to reglaze it with, frame and reglaze with new insulated glass and bronze aluminum frame fitted fully to the original opening. And if I understood, it's the front as well as the glass angling back into the door, correct? Yeah. And then they want to paint the existing entry door to match the bronze glazing frames, replace the soffit plywood above the entry door, and tuck point the masonry on the front of the building, matching as closely as possible the existing mortar. So for this one, finding of fact, restoring the storefront to the original size meets the historic district standards. The exact door paint color is unknown, but matching the window frames would be appropriate. Replacing the soffit plywood is an in-kind repair, and that part could be approved by staff. Repointing should match the existing mortar in strength, color, and joint rake, depth, and decorative finishes. So the staff recommendation for the storefront glass is approve as submitted. Painting the front door, approval with condition of approval of final paint color selection by staff. Replacing the wood soffit above the entry door in kind, approval as submitted. And finally, repointing the masonry on the front of the building, recommend approval with the condition of final approval by staff of matching the color, texture, joint style, and depth, and profile in using a type N or lesser strength mortar.
Anyone have any questions?
Anyone here for the property?
Yeah, is there anyone here?
Isn't this
It's
the
the
same
same
person?
one.
Yeah,
Same
the same.
property.
Yes.
He's still not here.
I didn't sneak in, no.
Is anything about the signage or about that?
That was
Or we
part of
just-
it too, wasn't it? I thought.
Or we just don't know yet?
It was just removal
I
of the
don't
sign.
think we had that.
I thought it, but I think it says that.
I'm not seeing it anyway on the COA application.
I
It's
wouldn't think
removing the
they'd
glass.
Sherwood ceramics on there, since they moved out of town.
It's
Years ago.
not on the
Yeah.
application.
Well, if they're gonna if they're gonna do tuck pointing, my hunch is it'll come off.
Right.
And it's a matter of whether they put it back up or not.
I doubt it that much.
I would think not. We wouldn't necessarily want that, right?
No,
No.
that is not the type of sign we normally approve, so
So could we approve it with the condition that the sign not be replaced?
if it comes off, yeah, 'cause, yeah, I'm assuming they'll take it off.
Yeah.
But without coming back with the COA?
Right.
Yeah.
I guess you can approve something that they haven't asked for, but it likely will come off. I feel like we talked about that briefly when we were out there,
I think we did.
but they weren't sure what they wanted to do, and so it just didn't become a part of this. But yeah, you're right, there's probably brick back there, there's probably holes where the sign went up that need to be filled, so, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion to approve everything and add removal of the sign above the window and door.
Motion to approve as recommended by staff, subject to staff review of those certain items specified, as well as removal of the sign and no replacement unless
Approved.
a COA is submitted.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same. All right, thank you.
Actually, I just saw this. This is the rendering they did, and there's no
No
sign
sign.
shown.
That's
there.
true, so. What's hanging for it
You know,
too?
if we did the building next door as well, that building is really good.
It is, yeah, and I don't know who did that one, so. All right, next one is right beside it, 119 East 9th Street, 2024-044. This is a house. I think they're actually on the same lot, isn't it right? It's really unusual. Rated contributing, it's a gable front. The proposed project here is removing the second floor window. Oh, there's a the door in case you want to see it, forgot that. So this is the front of the house we're looking at, but we're actually talking about the back. There's the rear, so that window right there on the second floor is what they're talking about. They want to remove that. It's currently attic space up there, but they're developing that, and so they're going to put a shower up there, and they would like to remove that. So the finding of facts, the window is on the rear elevation of the house. The siding will be installed with staggered joints to blend the filled opening in with the surrounding siding. The location, materials, and installation method meet historic district guidelines. So the recommendation is approval as submitted.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same? Thank you. Okay.
All right. So finally, it's not the way it looks at the moment, but quite. I haven't taken a picture of the front just recently, so. Anyways, this, again, we've had this one before, so this is just more of the project here. So the proposed project is replacing all windows, that would be the second floor windows, and adding 2 additional windows, reconfiguring the storefront and apartment entrance, reconstructing the double door on the north side to facilitate a point of egress for commercial space, and installing outdoor lighting. So I will show you the pictures I've got, and I'll finish.
Do we have the PowerPoint as well?
Yes, I do. Yep. So I'll show you what I've got and give you my recommendations, and then I'm going to show you his PowerPoint, which is in here, but
And there
separate.
is a hard copy here too that we can pass around if anybody wants to see that.
So this is obviously the north side before they got the paint off of it, but it shows you where the window openings are and the door opening. It's really hard to see in this, but this is a historic photo, so you can see it with the storefront glass, more to size. So this is a floor plan. They're not planning to make it a restaurant, but that's just how it's shown. So I got this morning, and I'm sorry, y'all know these came late Saturday night, and I didn't have this information then, so I wasn't quite sure what the reasoning was. Right now, the front door is in the center. And so this proposes moving it to the far right, over by the door that goes to the stairs. So the reason for that being that they want to make it accessible, so they need to widen the door, was the thinking for that. So that gave some clarity to that. And then we also have elevations, so you can see what that would look like in the front as well as on the north side. So let me switch to his. Whoops, come back. What did I do to it?
No signal.
Back. This PowerPoint isn't there. What do we do? Press source on your remote. I don't know what that means on a mouse. I like it.
I like this.
We need Drew probably.
I love that. Yeah, that's.
That's the
It's
front.
weird, 'cause those two over there.
It's the side,
Mhm.
Where's
I don't know.
our IT man?
Back.
most of this, and the door back there.
Yeah.
Can't get in there. You know where.
Is the USB plugged into a laptop that went dead,
I'm not
battery
sure.
wise, or?
I,
You know, see?
not sure what's going on.
It's funny, they said that they wanted to make this an accessible entry, but then there's 2 stairs there.
You can't get in there. Where is that?
It's
Yeah.
just somewhere talking between here and there. It's on the laptop.
Oh, it's on the laptop?
Yeah, but these two aren't talking to each other.
There's some things plugged in there.
There are just tons of things plugged in there. Check the cable connections. Well, let's see,
All
there's
of
6
them.
of them, I think. We'll just wiggle them all. Let's see. Difference here. This is so frustrating because he's got a really good picture in there of the exterior. I got it on my laptop.
Is it this one?
Yes, that,
Right, so you can
the
always.
drawing is really nice, but here he is.
Drew, help, help. You heard me
I'm
pounding,
talking
didn't
to
you?
each other for some reason.
Just out of curiosity, do we know what the plan is for the use?
Right now, we're just still trying to finish the exterior and try to get it secure. The architect drew up as a restaurant just to show and display. He's the one who recommended moving the vestibule. If you can see the photos, originally the building, it was all glass, so we do want to get to that. Now, whether the door was in the middle or to the side, we're not sure, but if you look at some of the other buildings, you know, in town, the doors vary. But I originally asked him to design it to put it in the corner, like the building is kitty corner. And we found out that the first 20 feet of the building, there's a basement. And he said to put it in the corner and then to pour concrete for ADA because there's a considerable step. The sidewalk dives to 9th Street. So it would get extremely expensive to restore that corner entrance and then add a vestibule. You'd be taking hundreds of square feet away from the interior. And he said, obviously, it makes the most sense by moving it over and creating your vapor barrier, you know, for winter and summer, moving the vestibule over. But the best part about it is it just gives you a solid wall of
Beautiful
glass.
glass, yeah.
The whole corner will be glass.
That's cool.
Okay, so here's the PowerPoint that he put together with the original view. Scary. Forgot how bad that looked.
That was with the sign
Yeah.
down.
Which was a help, yes.
That's they started, yeah, that's the pressure washing,
Looks so
paint
much
removal.
better. Yeah.
And if you see on that slide, the corner has got white subway tiles on the north side. That whole corner, when you go inside the building, is
Oh.
2x4, meaning modern day studs, so pre or after 50s or 60s with plywood and then just a single skin of brick. It was just a complete add-on. And that's when they made that center door. So that is not original.
Original.
Yeah.
It doesn't match next door whatsoever.
No.
So there's the north side currently.
So where that white brick is, that's all coming out.
Correct, the subway tile, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't belong.
Okay.
So this is where, once we expose the paint, meaning the brick, it just, the stories, I have no idea why there's 7 different kinds of brick.
Yeah.
But you can see underneath the right laundry sign, the 2 squares, they took and bricked in windows. we'd like to put the windows back. The other square where the side entrance was, that was also bricked in. So there's a header in there, there's, you know, a lintel in there, it's steel, so it may not be 100 years old, but it's a lot older than the 70s. And then for whatever reason, I don't know, but you can see that used to be a much larger entrance there, and we'd like to kind of go back to that also. It would actually do something for the north side, and it's nice to see that the people right next door, on the
Yes.
previous petition, they're working on those buildings too, so now we can kind of clean up 9th Street, there'll be 3 of us in a row on 9th Street. So that's the goal there. And here, this is a rendition, so this is all new windows, the bronze, the glazing, and it matches that new center. It's not true, I mean, this is just to give you an artistic, what we're proposing, this is what we want you to see in like. Building department is not gonna let us do that because there's no door there. We need a second point of egress, and so, again, you cannot have the door open in the sidewalk, so it's gonna have to be set in. But at least it gives you an idea, it's not brick there, it's gonna be window, we're gonna do that transom window to match the front, kind of carry that look. So that's what it looks like today, and this is what we're proposing.
It's very nice.
It looks nice.
It's beautiful.
The windows, the photos, so the downstairs, all those windows I photographed from Leeds. And then directly across the street from Leeds, they have the same arched windows. So I took a photo and then obviously took those to somebody smarter than I am, and they just miraculously made it happen.
That's awesome.
So I want to show you. This column here would be added to kind of break your eye away from the storefront to make that the apartment entrance.
Nice.
Right now, there is no column here, and it was actually the masons that came out to repair this whole section here. There was 3 different colors, brick here, and they were falling out. This window was practically on the ground once we got all the paint off. And they're the ones that say, hey, you should put a column here, give yourself a break, and then you now will have your vestibule. So that's why we kind of pulled it away from the center. I mean, I think the windows, just that much larger span of window, instead of having a door in the middle and then everybody just trying to get in the center, keep everybody off to the side.
So where were you thinking those lights would go?
The lights are the same lights off of Leeds. I think they're on the next slide.
Yes.
That same type of lamp, more on 9th Street.
Oh.
As you can see on Franklin's side, there's a street light. Can you go back?
Right there.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
street light there.
right there.
Yeah, you have a street light right here. So, I mean, we could probably maybe figure getting maybe 2 here or 1, 2, 3. Again, we have a street light, but 9th Street is really, there's
Right.
nothing, something to give the building a little character. You know, some lights hanging off of that brick that we just cleaned up.
Light it up, yeah.
We probably have a light in the soffit above the new.
Inside the vestibule,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. These are the same transom windows that Leeds has. I spoke to the neighbor next door. She was able to have somebody recreate her stained glass ones. And talking to that person to do this here, I would need another grant.
Yeah.
That's
So,
expensive.
I figured, Leeds was approved, so that's why I photographed. I tried to use existing examples within downtown.
It looks nice.
Looks beautiful.
I will say Leeds transoms were not approved by us. They date back prior to the remodeling that happened in 2018, 19, whenever that very large project came in front of you. Those were actually there under the awnings. So if you go back through Google Street View, that happened sometime around 2014 or so. There's no record of them ever being approved in our records of work here, so. Anyways, finding a fact, the original windows have already been replaced with vinyl windows, so replacing the replacements is not a problem. They proposed installation of bronze aluminum single-hung windows, bronze aluminum storefront glass with transom-style glass area above, Returning the two windows on the north side of the original size, reconstructing the north side door is appropriate. Plain or prism glass transom is appropriate for the transom area. The divided light should be a true or simulated divided light in a size to match historic prism glass, which is probably the concern with this, is it's much larger squares than typical prism glass. And as far as I can tell, it's grids between the glass, so there's nothing on the outside, so it's just smooth and it's in between the two panes of glass, which the guidelines don't recommend doing that. The proposed lighting meets the historic district guidelines as long as it's mounted in a manner that doesn't damage the original materials. So the motions, the windows approval is submitted with condition of final approval by staff on submission of the manufacturer type, size, style, color. The storefront, I said I needed more information. We've got a lot of information now, so I don't see anything particularly wrong with it, other than I think the glass in the transom area should either be plain glass or it should be one where the grid's on the outside. So I don't know what's out there, if that's possible or not. I'm just going by what the guidelines say there. The north entrance, didn't have the information when I wrote this, but I don't see anything out of order on that. That looks like an approvable thing. I would note on the drawing for the storefront, though, the door that's shown, that would definitely not be an acceptable door for the historic district. That's like a residential door.
Oh,
They're
meaning in
approvable.
the architectural.
In the drawing.
Yeah, no,
So
yeah.
I don't want to see that.
No.
The oval.
The oval,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's actually, the reason he used that is because that's actually what's on the building.
Yeah, right.
Is it?
That's what
Okay.
the Pearl has, it's
Okay,
an oval.
so-
Okay.
Get a new door. Come see us. So, outdoor lighting approval is submitted. So, overall, pretty good.
Anybody have any questions?
To see it.
May I have a motion?
So we want to,
Have to update staff review here.
we have to what?
Have to update staff because we got new information here, so we can't just.
Right. Yep. Yeah, so you'll have to come up with some wording to go with that, whether or not you want to approve the storefront in the north entrance, because I didn't have those drawings when I wrote this.
Whether it's a restaurant or a store, we feel it was appropriate, to move the door. So I apologize for that.
Dan, you're gonna make a motion?
Yeah.
Well, A and D are recommends approval as submitted,
Well,
subject
except
to
for,
five.
yeah, except for the grids in the
And
transom.
transom windows.
Which that's on B.
Oh, you're talking, the windows refers to all the windows except the storefront.
Right, storefront is the storefront windows. Windows is the other.
Well, under
windows.
A, and then D, the outdoor lighting, approval is submitted.
Yeah.
So we can approve the staff recommendation for those two,
For A,
A and D.
A and D.
And then B and C have to, I'm not sure what was proposed here, it's updated.
Well, she already told us C, since he provided more information.
I didn't see anything out of order
was
with that
agreeing
north
with that, too.
entrance. I think that looked good as submitted.
How would we describe what they presented
You could just say approved as
based on
submitted.
presentation pictures?
Yeah.
Submitted.
Right,
Uh-huh.
because this is more of his submission. We just didn't have it, we didn't
Yeah.
get it all at the same time, but we had it before the meeting, so.
So A, C, and D are approved as submitted.
Yes,
And
And A has a condition on it because he hasn't
yeah, with the
got a quote
condition.
yet from the manufacturer, so we'll need to see that before we can give final approval. But the general idea is approvable. We just need the final detail on manufacturer.
okay.
And then the storefront is just whether you're good with moving the front doors. We know at one point in history, how old is that picture that you've got?
I thought it was, I think it was mid-40s.
Mid-40s. It was in the center, but obviously the building dates back to 1902, so I don't know. There's no way to prove that, I don't think.
Well, based on
trouble
what,
finding
on the
photos.
inside, like I said, you have
Yeah.
modern day construction, you have actual dimensional lumber. It's not 2x4 rough sawn, there's plywood, and then
So
that
that's a
white
good-
subway tile is definitely not.
Yeah, that's not,
Yeah,
definitely not. So
The
there's,
curb appeal, yeah, the curb appeal alone
It-
from
right.
the
So,
and we want it to be accessible, so I
Right.
think.
Is that-
right, because you can see how much brick in the corner, right at the corner of 9th and Franklin, you can start seeing that white subway, see how the sidewalk drops?
Yes,
It just makes it difficult to make it ADA compliant.
Right.
so.
so if we treat that as the submission, part of the
This is
submission.
submission. My only concern on that drawing, like I said, is the glass up above. The squares either need to be a little smaller and the grid be on the exterior, or it could be plain glass, which was common. People did that. They didn't all have the little, the prism glass is cool, but it costs a fortune. So I would never require that. That would be crazy.
I would love to do that. I
It
would
would
love
be
to do the
great.
stained glass, but
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, I haven't won the lottery.
Well, we'll wait for that.
So I do have one question. So is this supposed to be the handicapped accessible entrance, or is it
Correct.
on the north?
No, this here. The
But you
north
have-
entrance is either, whether it gets subdivided into 2 spaces or, but the building department's going to require a second point of egress.
No, I understand, but this, you show steps going up there though.
Again, these are photographs, leads has steps.
Yeah.
So I photographed leads, and then I had a friend of mine basically cut and paste in Photoshop.
So you will not have steps?
No, we will not have steps. No, this, I really wanted to show this to you and get your reactions and to see if we're going down the right path,
Okay.
really. And
Looks nice.
because now we'll know where to go with the vendors. You know, had you all come back and said, absolutely not, it's gotta be white, it's gotta be this, it's gotta be this, then obviously we would go in a different direction. But
And so Deb, if there were no grids, that
You
would be
could do
okay?
no
So
grids,
just
yeah,
like a
because
frosted
plain-
glass or something? or-
Plain glass
Just
is
plain
fine.
glass?
Yeah, that was common back in the day. Prism glass was nice, but not everyone had
Yeah.
it. So
Right.
either one of those would work, or it's possible grids could be made to be a little smaller and be on the exterior. I don't know what's available, so you
I
just
will
have to check
definitely
that out.
pursue- Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
pursue that. The nice thing is being that it's a storefront construction, all of those panels are, I don't want to say snap-in, but they are. I mean, the frames snap into the glass.
Yeah,
So once all of the framework is built, you know, we could put fillers in there and until we get things approved or we get, you know, or we change it or we find, you know what I'm saying? It's not a permanent thing like when you replace a window in your home. That's why the storefronts are made that way, is for vandalism or accidents or whatever. You can just, you know, snap out the frames and put in a piece of glass. But it was the architecture that I was after, because now we can actually have it drawn with dimensions and then go out for bids, and then I'll just specify, okay, we're looking for something with an exterior grid, smaller, and we'll see what comes back.
And you know, when we're talking about the grids, there's the true dividing mutton bar. But there's
Correct.
also the simulated, where it's just like glued onto the glass on the outside,
Correct,
so that it looks like it's authentic.
right.
Okay.
Meyer told me there's actually a printed glass now. They said that is, from a distance, you cannot tell that it's not, but I don't know that the reason that you have that exterior grid is so you give it dimensions.
that's, yeah, that's what we're looking
Okay,
for. Yeah,
okay. So the printed glass is not gonna work.
yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No problem. I didn't even know it existed, so.
Yeah, I didn't either. So there's places that would be good, but not here.
Mhm.
So,
Well, I'll make a motion to approve, letter A, windows approved as submitted with condition of staff review for all details. I'll skip down to D, the outdoor lighting is approved as submitted. Back up to C, the north entrance, approved as submitted based on the updated information here and the design as submitted with the COA prior to the meeting. And then the storefront, approved as submitted here with follow-up with staff regarding the windows above there and the grids and all that for final staff approval to review all that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Definitely.
Do I have a
Second on
second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Thank you for all the work
So
downtown.
exciting.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait
We
to
are-
see
we
it.
are.
Every time I drive by and see when I was seeing the tuck pointers and the masons, I was yelling up there, "You guys are doing a great job!" And they, thanks. So they were very happy to do the work too. They were
Well,
very
we
into
we
it.
did not anticipate having to point the whole
Whole thing,
building.
yeah.
And
Needed it.
they came in with it was a checkable, we're gonna do
Yeah.
6 foot of this, do this, do this, do this. And I talked to my partner and we looked at it and we said, we're doing it, but just do the whole.
Beautiful.
It's nice.
It's gonna look great.
Thank you very much for all your
Thank you.
investment in our community.
Thank you.
Looks nice. Okay.
Can we have Candace Adams, I know she's not on
Oh,
our
she's-
agenda,
Okay.
but it's been a month. She said
I thought I was on the agenda.
you were supposed to. I didn't add you. But then I looked at my notes and I was like, it's been I gave a 30-day extension.
Okay,
It's supposed to be on. I'm a little behind.
That's all right, I
But-
understand.
Yeah, so
I make a motion to modify the agenda to add the COA, what's the number?
oh, I don't know. But
COA something.
It's a great one.
What's your number,
What's the
Ken?
address?
Now, you know I don't know.
What's the address?
218 East 8th Street.
218?
The windows.
That is 2024-032.
what is the number again?
2024-032. For 218 East 8th Street. I've got a 30-day extension for a repair estimate last month.
My kids. So.
Okay,
So what's
well,
this-
I wasn't prepared either, so, but it was windows, it was replacing windows.
So, I did, you sent me that list,
Mhm.
and so I did reach out to a woman, a company in South Bend, and I'm gonna give you, and I didn't know it was that many of you, so I'm sorry, I might run short.
Okay.
can share.
We're going, yeah, we'll share. I'm leaving it in.
Okay.
You can share.
The email that she sent, I know you wanted me to look at the cost of restoring the windows. I had already, Window World, I had already paid him a deposit, and through the years, Kyle did
Excuse me.
locate
Would you mind?
his,
Just so you know, on the record.
Oh, yeah.
building permit, and when he had come before the board 2 previous times, and the windows were approved. And so, I had the woman come out and she gave me an estimate of $2,400 per window. So 10 windows, that's $24,000 versus Window World, $8,000.
Just your name.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
You need me to sign it? Since I wasn't on the agenda.
Yes, please.
And I know one of the things you had said was if the cost is
Yeah.
so, extremely different. Is that true?
That's it.
Did I hear right that you said the windows were approved twice?
Yes.
Distracted.
I don't know.
Well, I think based upon when I was looking at the records, over time, I think it was in, I don't remember exactly, I think 2014, and then there was another time. So, I mean, I think what she means is over time, certain windows, Bill, right? it's
Bill from Window World.
Bill from Window World. Window World. Window World has slowly had certain windows replaced over time, and this is kind of the last batch of windows
So
that hasn't been.
2014 was 10 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't have records back that far. They go to 2015, so I
Yeah,
can't.
I
look
mean,
that
so,
up, but-
yeah, I mean, we have I have a record that, I have a record that windows have been replaced. I only have a physical record of like a previous COA from 10 years ago with Bill's name on it, but prior to that, I don't know if it was Bill or someone else from Window World, but I know
The company.
someone else had windows replaced on that property while she owned it.
It was me. Bill has always done the windows, so,
You've owned it for 10 years or more?
yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
she has.
Yeah, I've owned it since, like 2007, maybe.
What'd you say the address was?
218
218, your address?
East 8th Street.
So this was done, this was to rebuild them, your budget, or that was the, no.
That was the recommendation that you
Board,
guys
yeah.
had requested.
So that's how much it would cost?
Yeah.
So much to just rebuild what's there? Or,
And I don't, Kyle and Deb came to the property. It's kind of a thing that I need to do them. Like, one of them is busted completely out, the others is just, so I just said, you know what, let me kind of backtrack and take care of these windows to secure the building. So that's why I'm just trying to get them all done right now so I can move forward with the other stuff that needs to be done.
So what's the standard and the objection to
Yeah.
this, help us
Well, we
review?
say no vinyl windows, so that would be the objection. But there are already vinyl windows. I forget, is this the house where the front ones are already vinyl? Is that?
More than 50% of them are already
I think it's
replaced.
only the bottom one, I think the large bottom one is the only one that is wood on the front.
On the front. I
Yeah.
was thinking, I think it's a different one that I'm thinking of where they were, all the front ones were, it's
That-
farther down the road.
That is
Yeah,
further down the road.
that's a different, we've seen a lot of windows this
We have
spring, so,
recently, yeah.
kind of like, yeah, which one? I remember being at your house, I remember that.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of interesting windows
On the
in
side.
the back.
Yeah, and that
somewhere.
one I'm going to keep.
You're gonna keep
that
that.
little side one.
That thing's
really
cute.
unique. That one's
So-
going to remain because that one's probably one of the only ones that's kind of okay.
Okay.
And then there was like one in the hall that was really slim.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that one was
I
really slim, but the others on the alley side, it's like four there, gone. One up top, that one is completely broken out. I think that first windstorm we got knocked that one out. And then there's one upstairs completely shot. And then there may be like, because it's a total of 10
Right.
that we're doing. And there's a
Yeah.
couple other, I can't kind of visual.
Mostly sides and back.
Yeah.
One over one double hungs. I think, were there no vinyl on here, I would argue this tooth and nail because vinyl windows always reduce the size of your clear glass. So that's a detriment to the building and we don't like to see that happen. And they don't last a long time, generally speaking. You end up having seal failure somewhere along the line, so it's not the quality of some other windows. But she already has quite a few vinyl windows already there, so this is a little different than some other situations. We wanted to see what it would cost to repair because some of them are bad and some of them are not so bad. And so we just kind of wanted to get an idea of what her cost would be. But even the not so bad are pricey and the
16.
2,400 is.
and the man hours, I mean,
That's,
how long is that gonna take?
That's what she told me. She said, we're not typical because we take our time and then it's materials. And maybe another building that the windows hadn't been neglected for so long.
Right, yeah.
It might be a feasible thing
Right.
because of my situation. And did you put the cat? My situation. Yeah, they just kind of need to be. And I got quite a lot of work to do. Not saying that I'm trying to cut corners, but financially this is better for me because I got a whole new porch I need to do and some siding and the deck. So this kind of fits my budget. And the windows look good though. They're not cheap windows.
Nice
They
cheap
look
windows.
good. They look good. They look good.
But Deb, to follow up from the Saturday workshop, is this the kind of thing that Adam and those guys do? So this is the kind of
Yes,
self-expense
right.
they put into repairing all those
So
windows?
you look at how much they save by being able to do that themselves.
Yeah, but it takes time for them.
It takes how much?
Taking out
It takes
40
time.
hours.
Do-
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, and that's another thing she did say, it would take a lot of time, you know, for the windows because of the care that they put into
Yeah.
the rebuilding.
That's the same company that's doing the windows on Wabash
And they're
Street.
almost done.
They're
I
almost
just
done.
talked to her today, actually.
Oh, good.
So.
Is she
and
happy?
It's looking good.
She's very happy.
Good, I'm glad. I'm excited to see.
So I think she has 2 windows left that
Good.
need to be installed, but
Pretty well
apparently it's
done.
been 3 months, so.
Yeah, and so that wasn't too bad. That was all the
You know,
street
normally I don't
facing
mind.
windows on Wabash Street that you
Yeah.
guys approved earlier this year. So,
Yeah, it's gonna look good.
And I would like to say, I mean, I know it's against what you guys kind of typically like, but because I've already done them, I think my situation should be grandfathered. You know, I think I should kind of be grandfathered in, and then moving forward, you know, it's a no-no. I'm trying.
it's a nice try. But that's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Anybody have
You ready
any?
for a motion?
Yes. Yeah.
Motion to
I'm not making
accept
a motion, but
proposal to use the windows that are there, or use this company to do the windows as opposed to the time and energy that's gonna be put into something else.
Okay, we have a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed, same? And it's not because
get those windows in.
we're grandfathering you.
And I was done. I know he's
Here's
waiting to
grandmother
see, you know, whether this gets approved or not, because I ordered them a while ago, and he finished another building of mine. He's already got those in, but we were waiting to see what would happen here. So yeah, we're gonna get them done.
Okay.
And a lot of other
An
things.
exercise of grace and compassion.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you guys. Yeah, I showed them the plan of the porch that I wanted, so I got some nice plans for this place.
Okay,
Really quickly.
all righty.
Okay, that's all of mine.
That's all
Now
here.
Kyle's got the next
You want me to
20.
go through all the maintenance videos?
Can we just,
Can we just, can you, do you have
Just-
that are not approved?
Thank you, everybody. Yes.
Thank
you, guys. Have a good night.
So the only one that I don't have a approval letter for tonight is COA 2024-46 at address 228 West 4th Street for paint, and that has to do with, I don't know where that COA was sent to. I talked to them on the phone. They said they were gonna send it to the inspection email. Just like a lot of emails that get sent to that email, sometimes people forget to put the S on, and somewhere there's a lot of missing emails that get sent in the cloud somewhere or to someone else's email. So I haven't received that COA yet. So other than that, the rest of them have the approval letters in the packet and have been written up and have been sent.
Okay, so we're talking about I has not been
Yeah.
approved.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. Did everyone get their information from the mayor today?
Yes.
Okay. I have not had a chance to look at all of it, but I think she just wanted us all to be sure what we have signed up for. And if we have any questions, she has asked that we just call her office. And if anybody ever wants to go in and talk with her, she's open for that also.
she sent a form, like a hard copy email form, but there is a link where you can fill it in online just click and it'll submit automatically. So I've already done that myself.
Oh,
I'm on
oh.
several, well, I'm on other boards and I got it.
Suck up.
I just said I already felt the pain. No.
Well, I'll tell you what, she scared me 2 weeks ago and she called, had one of her girls call and say, the mayor needs you at her office at noon on Monday. I'm thinking, oh
goodness.
boy, what did I do? And I went down there and she now herself, when anyone's term expires, wants to swear you in herself, which I think is really great. You get to meet her, know her a little bit better. So when I left there, I felt better than when I went. But I've known her for a long time, but she is really, really trying to do a good job. So if anyone has any suggestions to her, she's open for that too. So if she calls you and says she needs you down there, don't panic. Does anyone have any other things they
And
need?
then on the back, you can flip it over because we have some steroids. I mean, so much stuff that it can be used. It's about the window workshop.
Oh, that window workshop was wonderful. And for those of you that couldn't be there, I'm sorry, we had 23 people there. And 2 of the contractors stayed after and learned a lot more. And the trade company is getting 8 radiators donated to them, and they're all excited about that. And then the gentleman that's donating all that also has some glass he's donating, older glass. So it turned out a good thing for the demonstrators. They were as excited as the guy that was going to be getting rid of everything. So I thought it went over well. I appreciate all of you that did come and were able to. I hope it was very cold in there, but it was good.
It's always cold in that building.
It is
It
cold.
is.
Yeah, I know, I know.
It's warm.
I guess if you're a firefighter, you need it to be cold, so. Anyway, thank you all that did come, I appreciate that. So, now we are on, did you have anything
Let's
else?
see, yes, I've emailed City Attorney Amber about what is involved or required or acceptable for getting some kind of a contract with the brokers to do the promotions and so forth. They were here a couple months ago, and so she's checking with administration to see what might be appropriate or proper for us to do. Obviously, we don't have a budget, so there's no cost if they do it on a volunteer basis, but we still need some documentation for it and make sure the city knows, and whatever they're doing would be part of the city website or historic preservation or something or other probably. So I'm following up with all of that.
Good, thank you. No public left with this gentleman? No?
Public?
You don't want to say anything? Okay.
Nothing bad.
Thank you. Anybody else on the commission have anything?
We should introduce our
yeah.
We need to
commission member.
introduce our new guy over here, Anthony. Do you want to tell us a little something about you?
Well, thank you for that. I come from Chicago. Me and my family have been in Michigan City for 3 years in July. Super excited about that. As far as dealing with history, I am a history major and looking to go into being a history teacher. When I was in high school, I worked on, in Cleveland, Ohio, working on preserving our school. They wanted to tear it down. It had survived 4 fires. So we were like, no, we can't do that. We can't let them get rid of our building. At the time, it was only 500 students in the building. Now we are up to 1,000.
Oh, how nice.
So that's really exciting to hear that the legacy of the school is still going on. It could hold 1,500, so that we are almost there. And yeah, I did some stuff in my community in Chicago, as far as with our historical district. I was telling Deb and Pat the other day, I didn't know I grew up on the same block as Emmett Till. So it wasn't until we saw they had an event, and I was like, what's going on down here? And they're like, this is a dedication for Emmett Till's house. I'm like, no way. Like, I've lived on this block my entire life. So yeah, I've been a lover of history all my life. And I'm really excited to get to work with you all.
Good. Well, we thank you.
Glad to
We're
have you.
excited too, so. All right.
And I do have one announcement coming up. We've got another Historic Preservation Roundtable meeting coming up in August. I don't know, not too many made it out to Valparaiso, but the third and final one for this year is right here in Michigan City. So
August what?
August 13th. It'll be at 6:00 p.m. Lord willing, at City Hall, right? Somewhere in an available room. The topic this time is removal of designation. We pray that we never need to use that, but it's good to know about it and to understand the process. So, you know, sometimes somebody comes to you and says, this is ridiculous, I want my house out of this district. Well, it's good to be able to understand what that process is, and it's lengthy. It is not easy, and if it's a multi-site district, it's really hard because you've got to get the buy-in of the majority of the owners. So, but it should be very interesting. It was tested in Fort Wayne a few years back with the Frank Lloyd Wright House.
Oh.
And so Krager Smith, the city planner for Fort Wayne, is going to come up here and tell about their experience. And then my boss, Todd Zeiger, is going to come and talk about the state ordinance, which actually was created as a response to a situation in LaPorte. So it's rather local all the way around. So it should be really interesting. So 6 to 8 o'clock on August 13th at City Hall. Okay.
And how are you promoting that?
That's just for commission members.
Okay.
So I'm promoting it to you guys in LaPorte, and my colleague Blake is bringing his people from Hobart and Crown Point.
Okay, great.
So, yeah. That's it. It would be nice to think about another workshop though, since we've just had one. Maybe think about that for fall. I think you had a really good turnout, so perhaps we want to tackle another topic for the public.
We might be thinking about that then and maybe bring some suggestions to our next meetings.
Yeah.
And see if we can get presenters to do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Adam's learning masonry, so maybe we can get him to come back.
I saw, yeah. I thought, yeah.
I think he's really engaging. People seem to like to listen to him.
Yes,
So,
well, that's why we were there so late.
yes, because he can talk. So,
And
but very
everybody
good.
was enjoying that,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
We've got a question on the mayor's request here. I don't know where our agenda comes from, but part with you, but Amanda sends it out, so we've got to set it. Are you, is staff going to take care of getting that to the mayor's website, or do we need to
No.
vote and approve?
No, I will.
Everything's taken care of there?
Could you ask her when she sends the packets out? Did anybody get a packet in the mail?
I got mine in the mail
We
today.
sent it out, everything was sent out on Thursday.
Thursday?
There's no mail Wednesday.
On Wednesday, because it was Juneteenth.
Right. And I usually do
I
get it
was
on
not
Wednesday.
ready on Tuesday, because
Yeah.
I was still writing letters all day.
I know you were.
But we got the electronic package.
Did you get your packet?
I did.
Okay.
He knows the mailman.
Well, I do too. Maybe I ought to have it delivered to your house.
But you didn't work there.
No, I didn't suck up, you're right. Okay, anything else that needs to come before us?
Move to adjourn.
All right. Anybody objecting to that? All right. We are adjourned. Thank you.